Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens to your money when you deposit it in the bank? Imagine this. You wake up early, face traffic, work a full day, come home tired, and at the end of the month, you go and deposit your hard-earned paycheck into your bank account. You feel that relief. Now I'm safe, you think, but are you really? While you believe your money is just sitting there safely kept, the bank is already making plans with it, and very profitable plans at that. They won't leave that money idle. They will lend it to other people or companies at very high interest rates, extremely high. And what do you get in return? A thank you in the form of a few cents of interest at the end of the month. It's like leaving your car with someone and they rent it out every day, make a profit from it, and then give you a $1 coin as a thank you for the use. Strange, right? But that's exactly what happens. Banks take your money, multiply it through investments, credit cards, loans, and you get the crumbs. Now here's the point many don't know. Banks make billions every year with your money. And how much have you earned from it all this time? Practically nothing. The system was designed to favor those inside the right machinery. And if you're just saving and storing money without understanding how it works, you're being used as a piece on the board. While you look at your statement and try to save $50 a month, the bank is lending out that same amount with interest rates nearing 10% per month. This isn't just unfair, it's a silent trap. But the good news is, once you realize this, you can start changing the game. Do you want to keep playing a game where only the bank wins? Or do you want to learn how to flip the board? Since we were kids, most of us learned that saving money was a sign of intelligence. We heard phrases like, save your money, or don't spend it all. Put it in savings, it's safe. The intention was good, but the strategy limited. Look, the rich don't just save. They understood something that changes everything. Saving money isn't enough. Money sitting still loses value. It's like leaving a bucket of water in the sun. If you don't do anything, it slowly evaporates. While many people put $100 in a savings account and expect it to multiply, the rich take that same $100 and make that money truly multiply. For example, with $50, you can buy a fraction of shares in big American companies like Apple, Google, or Microsoft. With $100, you can invest in real estate funds called REITs, which pay monthly income. With $25, you can invest in ETFs, which are funds that hold multiple stocks at once, helping spread the risk. These amounts aren't high. They are accessible. The problem is, many people don't even know this exists because they were taught to simply save and hope the money grows. The truth is, the rich don't let money sit still. They make every dollar work for them every day, even while they sleep. So the question is, will you keep saving money and letting it sit idle while it loses value? Or will you start thinking like those who already understand the game, turning $20, $30, $50 into more? Everyone has the same 24 hours a day. Time is the only resource every human gets equally, whether you're a millionaire or starting from zero. The difference is what you do with those hours. While some people use their nights and weekends just to rest or watch TV, others are silently building businesses, learning new skills, or investing in something that will generate income down the road. It's not about working non-stop. It's not about living exhausted. It's about strategy. Let's imagine two people with similar routines. Both work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and get home around 6 p.m. One watches series, relaxes on the couch, and already worries about how to pay the bills at the end of the month. The other dedicates 1 hour each night to learning about finance, selling something online, freelancing, creating a channel, a course, or investing in digital assets. In 1 month, the difference might not be very visible, but in 6 months, a year, 5 years, the gap between the two becomes huge. Those who understand time is a valuable asset start using part of their day to create alternative income streams. Simple things, selling something they know how to do, consulting, starting a small business, learning about investments. That's where the difference is born between those waiting for the next paycheck and those building something that can transform their lives. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about using your hours smartly, taking small, consistent steps toward financial freedom. And you? Are you just using your nights and weekends to rest? Or are you planting something that can change your life? There's one thing that separates those who live counting pennies from those who can prosper financially: the way they see money. Most people trade time for salary. They work 8, 10, 12 hours a day to get paid at the end of the month. They get paid, pay the bills, and start all over again. And life goes by like that, in a never-ending routine. But investors, those who really understand the language of money, think differently. They don't live chasing a paycheck, they chase assets. Now you might be wondering, what are assets? Assets are things that put money in your pocket. Plain and simple. Here are some practical examples. If you buy a car to work with deliveries or passenger transport and it generates more money than it costs to maintain, that's an asset. If you invest $100 in a real estate fund and receive $2, $3, or $4 every month in return, that investment becomes an asset. If you create a digital product, like an ebook, and it keeps selling even when you're sleeping, that's also an asset. The opposite are liabilities. Liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. Many people think a house, a new car, or brand-name clothes are signs of wealth. But in practice, if those things only generate expenses and no income, they are liabilities. The language of money is clear. The rich don't spend everything they earn, nor do they live only from their salary. They buy assets, things that generate income continuously. So the question is, what have you been buying? Things that put money in your pocket or take it out? Learning this language changes everything, and the sooner you understand this, the sooner you stop working just for a paycheck and start building freedom. For a long time, we heard that buying your own house was the greatest symbol of achievement. And yes, having a home is important. But from a financial point of view, we need to look more closely. Many believe a financed house is an investment. But let me explain clearly. If that house doesn't put money in your pocket every month, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Imagine this. You finance a house and commit to paying $1,000 a month for $30. Years. On top of that, there are taxes, insurance, maintenance, renovations, all that costs money. Now, if that house doesn't earn you a cent, if you live in it and just pay for it, then it's taking money out of your pocket, not putting money in. It's different when you buy a house to rent out, for example. If you pay $800 a month in financing, but rent it for $200, you're earning $400 in return. In that case, yes, it's an asset. The rich understood this difference. They focus on acquiring assets, properties that generate income, investments that pay dividends, businesses that run even when they're not around. True freedom doesn't come from owning nice things or saying, "This house is mine." Freedom comes from having income sources that cover your expenses month after month, even if you stop working. That doesn't mean you can't buy a house, but it's important to understand that if it's financially trapping you, it's a liability. And if your goal is freedom, you need to start building assets that give you that freedom. Remember, an asset that only generates debt doesn't free you, it traps you. From early on, we were taught to follow a path, study hard, get good grades, get into a good college, get a stable job, and then work for 30 or 40 years until retirement. This model seemed safe in the last century, but today it doesn't work the same way. And worst of all, at no point in school were you taught about money. Do you remember learning how to invest $100 or how to make your money grow more than inflation? Did they teach you the difference between assets and liabilities? Did they show you how to start a business or generate extra income? Probably not, because the traditional education system wasn't made to create financially free people. It was made to create employees, people who follow rules, obey, fit in. Not people who create, question, or seek independence. This isn't a conspiracy theory. Just look around. Schools teach math, science, grammar, all important, but completely ignore something we all use every day: money. Meanwhile, those born into wealthy families learn at home what schools never teach. They learn to invest, to entrepreneur, to use time and money as allies. That's why many remain rich generation after generation. The good news is that even if you didn't learn this before, you can learn it now. You can move from being someone who just obeys to someone who creates their own paths, builds businesses, makes money work for them. But it starts with a simple step: questioning what you were taught as the only possible way. Imagine for a moment a Ferris wheel that never stops spinning. Now, think of an endless race inside that wheel. That's what we call the rat race. Millions of people are in it, running non-stop, but not going anywhere. This race has a very clear pattern. You work hard to earn your salary, pay bills, buy things you think you need, and the next month it all starts again. You feel like you're always chasing money, but it seems to slip away. It feels like a never-ending cycle that consumes your time, energy, and even your dreams. Now honestly ask yourself, do you want to spend your whole life like this? Or do you want to change course, get out of this race, and start building your own financial freedom? This choice isn't easy because the biggest barrier isn't money. It's your mind. It's the habits you've built, the beliefs you were taught, and the fear that change brings. For example, many people think that to invest, you need to earn a lot of money. But that's not true. You can start with small amounts like $20, $50, or $100. What matters is not how much you start with, but what you do afterward. Other people think it's very risky to leave a stable job to start a business or invest. It's natural to feel fear. But the biggest risk is not changing and staying stuck in a system that doesn't truly reward you. The rat race is comfortable for the system because it keeps people dependent on a fixed salary, working so others get richer and richer. But you can break that cycle. The first step is to change your mindset. You need to believe that it's possible to create new sources of income, that you can learn to invest, that you can make money work for you, not the other way around. Then comes action. Learning, seeking knowledge, putting what you learned into practice, making mistakes, succeeding, and moving forward. There is no path without effort, but well-directed effort opens doors you can't even imagine. Think about the people you admire. Financially, they started from zero, took small steps, but chose not to accept the rat race routine. You can do the same, no matter your age, profession, or current situation. What matters is the decision you make right now, this moment. Will you keep running on the wheel, or will you step off it and start building your own path? This choice can change your life. Have you ever stopped to think that the real secret to wealth isn't how much money you earn, but how much money works for you? Most people spend their whole lives trading hours for money. You work, get paid, spend, and repeat everything next month. It's a cycle that tires and limits, but the rich do it differently. They know that true financial freedom comes when money doesn't depend on your direct effort. They invest in things that generate income even when they're sleeping, traveling, or spending time with family. This is called passive income, money that comes in regularly without you needing to be active all the time. Let's think of some examples. Imagine you buy shares of a solid company that pays dividends. Every quarter, the company sends you part of its profit directly to your account. You don't need to work for it, but you receive money. Or you own a rental property, and every month the rent goes into your account, whether you're at work or at the beach. Another option is creating a digital product, an online course, an ebook, an app that can be sold to people around the world 24 hours a day. But how do you start building these assets? The secret is to use part of your money to invest in something that generates more money. It may seem complicated, but you can start small with affordable amounts like $50 or $100 per month. The importance of building these assets is that, over time, they grow, multiply, and bring in more and more income. Thus, your money starts to work for you, not the other way around. With this kind of strategy, you no longer depend exclusively on your salary. If one day you want to take a long vacation, change jobs, or even stop working, the money will keep coming in. Of course, this requires discipline, patience, and study. Nobody gets rich overnight, but if you start building your assets today, you'll thank yourself in the future. And best of all, you'll achieve true financial freedom. When we talk about debt, many people already feel a knot in their stomach. After all, who likes to owe money, right? But not all debt is the same. There is a huge difference between good debt and bad debt, and understanding this can be a game changer for your financial life. Bad debt is the kind that only consumes your money without bringing any return. Think of the classic example: a credit card with very high interest. You buy things you don't need or spend more than you can pay, and at the end of the month, you have a huge bill to pay. The interest makes the debt grow, and you end up trapped in a hard-to-get-out cycle. Another example is loans to buy assets that depreciate quickly, like used cars or electronics. Good debt, on the other hand, is what you use to invest in something that generates income or value in the long term. It's money you borrow to increase your wealth, not to spend. For example, buying a property to rent out, where the rent covers the loan installment and still leaves a profit, or taking a loan to start a business that can grow and generate profit. The rich understand this difference and use credit to their advantage. They are not afraid of debt, as long as it is used strategically to increase their assets. They know that when well planned, debt can accelerate wealth building. But be careful, this requires knowledge and discipline. Borrowing money to buy what you want now without thinking about how you will pay it back is a sure path to financial disaster. If you learn to differentiate and control your debts, you can turn an instrument that many see as a problem into a powerful growth tool. The key is to make debts work for you, not you work to pay debts. After understanding all this, how the banking system works against you, how the rich invest, the importance of using your time strategically, building assets, understanding debt, and changing your mindset, comes the most important moment: taking action. Knowing is different from doing. And this is where many people stumble. You can watch dozens of videos, read books, follow financial gurus, but if you don't put it into practice, nothing changes. Therefore, the final invitation is for you to develop critical thinking. Don't accept everything they say as absolute truth. Question, research, experiment. Start with small steps. It can be investing $50 on a secure platform, opening an emergency savings account, studying personal finance, or even creating a small extra income. Making mistakes is part of the process. The important thing is to learn from them, adjust course, and keep going. Also, investing in yourself is the best decision you can make. Learn new skills, seek knowledge, take courses, read books. The more you grow as a person, the easier it becomes to identify opportunities and make good decisions. Remember, the system was created so most people depend on it. But you can be different. You can break cycles, build your freedom, and ensure a more peaceful future for yourself and your family. Financial freedom is not an impossible destination. It is a journey that starts with small daily choices. And the decision to start is yours alone. Now, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you stay in the same race, or will you take the first step to change your financial life today? So, did you like understanding a bit more about how money really works and how you can start changing your financial life right now? Remember, The power is in your hands. It only depends on you to take the first step. If this video brought something new to you, don't forget to share it with friends and family who also want to get out of the rat race and achieve financial freedom. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next content that will help you invest better, save smartly, and build a solid financial future. Leave in the comments which part made the most sense to you or what question you want us to answer in the next video. See you next time, and much success on your path to financial freedom.